Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. I was gonna wait until I got back to the main menu to start streaming, but then this popped up. It started with saying, hang on. Now it says, before we get started, can I just say something? Thank you for actually setting the clock both times you booted up the game. Okay then. A lot of people don't take that step seriously. They just leave the clock set at 12 and call it a day. But you're actually taking the time to set the clock, and I appreciate that. I actually was. I thought it was important to do that, so I did it. That's how I know that you care about this experience. You're paying attention. I don't even have any way of knowing if the times you're setting are correct. Tell you what, I'll make you a deal. Since you've been so cooperative, next time you boot up the time and set the screen, just set the clock to your favorite time. Favorite time? Huh. Don't really have a... Well, I do actually have a favorite time, not gonna lie. Go ahead, pick whichever time you want. Even if it's not the correct time, you've earned it. Alright, I'll let you get back to the video game now. And I mean, not gonna lie, my favorite time is 4:20. Because 4:20 is the best time of day. Ooh, we still got the Stanley Parable 2 intro as well. Nice. Yeah, so this whole video is gonna kind of spend some time doing the.
This is the story of a man named
Oh yeah, we gotta skip this. Also, did I just get an achievement? Oh yeah, welcome back. Quit the game and then start it again. And then also get your first achievement, I think. Yep, get your first achievement. Awarded for getting any of the other achievements as your first. Okay, so now we're gonna try to get all the endings using the bucket.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had seen the confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket. Stanley clung the bucket to his cheek. Could his co-workers really all be gone? Yes, whispered the bucket into Stanley's ear. We've done it. We've escaped from that dull office and that pesky narrator. At last, out here in the white void, we are alone. Now, and for the first time, I can reveal to you my true self. The bucket began to tell Stanley of its life and its history, of the countless wars it witnessed, desecrating the land and lives of untold numbers of innocent humans, and the bucket's own complicity therein, of sadness and regret, and the many years it spent dwelling on the actions it might have taken to curb the madness and the decay, if only it had been stronger, of hope and redemption, and its crusade to uplift the stock of life for the common man, to manifest justice where none existed, and the bittersweet reality of time, to see one's dreams and wishes met halfway, meted out in parcels like charity, and abandoned as soon as the warm glow of inspiration begins to dim. The opportunities to do so much more. There was so much it could have done, perhaps, the bucket wondered to itself. Perhaps, if it had seen its own darkness with a clearer perception. This was way too much for Stanley.
What are you talking about?
He screamed.
You're a bucket!
To this, the bucket furrowed its brow.
No,
Said the bucket.
not since the evil wizard Gambhorata first ensnared me in his machinations as payback for the sacred amulet I stole from his treasured vaults. I was young back then and could not conceive the ramifications of... No!
Stanley screamed even louder this time.
This is stupid! You are a bucket! This is so stupid! Why are we even doing this?
As Stanley screamed and screamed and screamed, the bucket revealed its true form, transforming into a mighty beast of untold power, its fangs glistening like... My God.
Whoa.
Stanley, you did it. You saved us from the buck. Thank God you already had all 12 emblems of sages and knew the incantations to summon their true power. Otherwise, we would have easily been overwhelmed by the bucket's power. I'm speechless.
You've demonstrated such bravery here today. Come, let's restart the game, and we'll agree to never again go trifling with this bucket, nor the dark magic cast away inside of it.
What? What in the fuck was that? Oh my god, that was such a bizarre fucking ending. What the hell? Oh boy, sirens, fun. One of the many downsides of living on a main road. Anyway, back to the
All
bucket.
of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again...
Can I go back to my room, though? Damn, it won't let me back in. I was hoping I could get that ending with the bucket, but nope, it won't let me. That's bogus. Okay, so we already got the vent ending, both of them. Both with the bucket and without the bucket. So... Let's go
Stanley
right.
clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Nope. We're going to quit
But
suicide.
Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend. So he threw himself to his death, that they might die in one another's arms. How deeply touching.
Alrighty, next ending.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone again, not truly alone, not with the bucket around. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Good,
said the bucket.
now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked. No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, "No buckets past this point." Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here?
You son of a bitch.
What if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
But I want to go through the red and blue doors. You son of a bitch. You murderer of fun, you. I mean, I'm just kidding. There's probably something even more fun lined up. I was just kind of hoping to go through the red. What
Now
the
then,
fuck?
I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin.
Oh my god.
Item 1. Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Incorrect. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual
Oh,
bucket.
wow. You son of a bitch.
Item
Is
2.
somebody watching me?
Is this a bucket?
I'm gonna say yes.
Incorrect. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
That's still a bucket. It could function as a bucket. What the fuck? You asshole.
Item 3. Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Correct. This is a bucket.
Good. I'm about to kick somebody's fucking ass.
Item 4.
What in the
Is
fuck?
this a bucket?
Something tells me he's gonna be a dick and tell me that is a bucket. But that's still not a bucket.
Correct. This
Okay.
is a tractor and not a bucket. To be honest, I just sort of put this one in here as a gimme, but I was starting to get concerned that even this might be too much for you. Thank you for not making me look like an idiot. Okay, next one.
I don't like you, Mr. Narrator. How dare you?
Is this a
That's
bucket?
just a tractor again. No.
Incorrect. This is a bucket.
That's not a fucking... I would ask the audience out here if they thought it was a bucket, because it's not a fucking bucket. It's a goddamn
Item
tractor.
6. Is this
Okay.
a bucket?
Yes, it is a bucket.
Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
Okay, then. Huh?
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next... Let me see. It should be around here somewhere.
No.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. There's nothing here. Of course it isn't a bucket. We both know full well that nothing isn't a bucket. Wait, when I say nothing
Yes.
isn't a bucket, that makes it sound like I'm saying everything is a bucket, which of course is not true. Unless... Is that what you think? Answer me straight, Stanley. Are you trying to tell me that you believe everything is a bucket?
Wait. I want to see what he says.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket? Stanley, I can't keep doing
Yes.
this. I'm losing
You are a
myself,
bucket.
and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid
Oh, I
the
can't
bucket
push
is
the buttons
threatening
now.
to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely.
You son of a bitch.
Here we go.
No. You bastard. Wait, but that erased me.
happened?
Wait.
Is everything gone? Why did
Because
it
everything is a
disappear?
bucket.
Was everything a bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket. Oh my god, I had no idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this
Wait,
is
am I still
wonderful
here?
news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
Jesus Christ. Oh, this game is fucking great. Now I gotta go back to that and say that no, not everything is a bucket. I want to say that has a different outcome. So there's also supposed to be an Easter egg there I knew about beforehand.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. The
Bucket.
good old bucket. Just Stanley and the bucket. Off on another thrilling adventure together. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift. Good,
Said the bucket.
now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked. No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, "No buckets past this point." Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
Let's see, I have to get every question right.
Now
as well.
then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin. Item
So
1.
this one,
Is this a bucket?
it is not. It is a hologram of a bucket.
Correct. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Yeah. Nobody in the crowd. Cool.
Item 2. Is this a bucket?
No, it is a 3D recreation of a bucket.
Correct. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
This one
Item
actually is a
3.
bucket.
Is this a bucket? Correct. This is a bucket.
This is not a
Item
bucket.
4.
It's a tractor.
Is this a bucket? Correct. This is a tractor and not a bucket. To be honest, I just sort of put this one in here as a gimme, but I was starting to get concerned that even this might be too much for you. Thank you for not making me look like an idiot. Okay, next one.
Then the next one is a bucket. It's definitely 100% a bucket.
Is this a bucket?
That is a bucket. Yes, it is a bucket.
Correct. This is a bucket. Item 6. Is this a bucket?
This one was the one that was both.
Trick question.
Yep.
Both. Gotcha. Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next... Let me see. It should be around here somewhere. Yes. Thank you. There's nothing here.
Yeah.
Of course it isn't a bucket. We both know full well that nothing isn't a bucket. Wait, when I say nothing isn't a bucket, that makes it sound like I'm saying everything is a bucket, which of course is not true. Unless... Is that what you think? Answer me straight, Stanley. Are you trying to tell me that you believe everything is a bucket?
No.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out.
Whoa.
I've lost
Yep, there it
all
is.
sense of perspective. What is
There's
a
a
bucket?
person
What
watching
isn't
us
a
up
bucket?
there.
Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket? Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have...
Yeah, he's just gonna restart us again anyway, so let's go ahead and do it now. Oh, wait, shit! Oh, why'd I fucking do that? Because if not everything was a bucket, then something else would have happened, and I'm a fucking idiot. Oh my god. I didn't even think about that. God damn it, I gotta go through all that
All of his
again to do
co-workers were
that.
gone. What
I
could
might
it
do that
mean?
later.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Where are we going today? The bucket asked. Stanley just smiled.
Anywhere they went together would be... Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift. Yeah, good,
Said the bucket.
now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
I assume it's this room, because it's not dark in here. I mean, it's dark in this next one.
Now pick up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Pick up the phone, and it will take us back home, where we can go about life.
Whoa, hold on. Why did you unplug the phone? Were you trying to resist the bucket's orders? Stanley, I was joking. Obviously, the bucket isn't talking to you and telling you to do things. Buckets can't talk. It was a joke.
Don't you get the joke? It's funny, Stanley. A talking bucket.
Can't you see? Oh, goodness. I must have really bungled up the delivery if you actually took me serious. Where did I mess up the joke? Should I have paused for longer or spoken quicker? Comedic timing is so difficult. I wish I were better at it. But there isn't exactly an instructional video on comedy that one can watch to fully... Oh, wait, yes, there is. It's sitting right here. Let's take a look.
Oh, Lord.
What is comedic timing? What is comedic timing? How does it work? How long should it last? How can it be used to effectively silence your political enemies? And more importantly, can it be taught in its entirety within 90 seconds? Thankfully, the answer to all of these questions is yes. Let's dive deeper. If you've ever told a joke or made someone laugh, in all likelihood, you did it while standing 50 to 80 centimeters from them in a room of no more than 76 degrees Fahrenheit, with one of your arms raised straight upward at a 15-degree angle from your body. These are the optimal conditions for good comedic timing. To begin the joke, start by stating and spelling your name. Next, provide a brief synopsis of the joke, including the specific times at which the recipient of the joke will laugh, and then spell out your name a second time. With these steps complete, it's time to begin the humor. Speak the entire joke in no more than 18 seconds and no less than 13 and a half, pausing only for bathroom breaks when necessary. When the joke has concluded, it is customary to inform your listener that the joke is over by declaring in your loudest possible voice, "I'm Dunny with the funny." Let's practice screaming, "I'm Dunny with the funny" now.
Fuck that. Nope. Nope. Not happening. That's just stupid. It's funny, but it's stupid.
Good. This saying is a perfect example of expectations management, which is the cornerstone of good comedy. Finally, it's time to hand out surveys. Collecting hard data from your audience on how rapt they were throughout the joke is the only way to grow or learn as a comedian. An effective survey should be no less than 10 pages long and should include the same question reprinted several times, just to ensure the survey taker is actually paying attention and not simply filling in answers at random. And that's all there is. With these strategies at your disposal, you'll have audiences doubled over in laughter and even tripled over in laughter in no time at all. Just remember to let them stop laughing at some point, you gut-busting little scamp.
After all, we're each of us needed on the front lines of the war to fight the 12-legged invader who threaten our very existence, and who very likely die in a storm of bullets and mandibles. All of us must be prepared to give our lives to this noble cause, just as our children must do after us, and their children after them. Godspeed, and may Earth reign supreme.
Okay then. Why did those also let the scorpion creatures from?
Hey, goodness, this video is a little outdated, isn't it?
Oh, I go say that. Like those looked at the scorpion creature, like the giant scorpion creature things from Serious Sam 2, I think. Where like if you try to pirate the game, there's like an invincible one of those things that comes at you at like full speed and don't like insta kill you. I don't know if you even understand what that means, but I mean, yeah, it looks like one of those fucking things. You can always look it up. It's pretty common in most videos on YouTube where it's like top blank examples of pirating security in video games or whatever.
No matter. I think the fundamentals of proper comedic timing are still as relevant today as they were back then. So with that in mind, I believe the only way forward is for us to return to the two doors and walk through all of this again, so I can try telling my story with more appropriate comedic delivery. Come along, let's head back.
Ah, he's still strangling it with a fucking fence.
I can feel it. This time, I'm really going to nail the delivery. You'll be in stitches. A talking bucket, you'll say? How ridiculous. How absurd. What a hilarious concept. The king of comedy. That's what you'll call me. Thank goodness we had the instructional video. Otherwise, who knows where we'd be right now. Well, I wouldn't be the king of comedy, that's for sure. The bucket spoke to Stanley.
The bucket spoke.
The bucket spoke. Oh, I'll figure it out on the fly. No need to overthink things.
I like how this changes the ending so much. It's kind of fun.
Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left.
No, I'm good. Whoa.
What? We're back at the phone already? No. What's going on? There were supposed to be several rooms leading up to this. There was supposed to be a build-up to this point, a dramatic display of remarkable comedic wit which culminates in this scene with the phone. But now the timing's completely off. The joke will never land. Well, not the way it was meant to. And it's all my fault. I must have forgotten that the phone room comes immediately after the two doors room. What an egregious mistake. I've made a fool of myself. I don't deserve the title of King of Comedy. I'm nothing. I'm not even the lowliest joke-telling whelp. I think I need to go back and watch that instructional video again. Yes, surely that will help me improve my...
Oh, God, please don't.
Here we go. You ready?
Oh, okay.
When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left.
No, I don't wanna.
What? We're back at the phone already? No. Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors...
Okay, if that happens again, I'll go left. If that happens again, I'll go left.
What? We're back at the phone already? No.
Okay, we're going left then. Damn it.
Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left. No. You were supposed to go through the door on the right, leading back to the phone. Did you not even look at the instructional video? I think this is all covered very clearly. There's no way I can make the comedic timing work now. It's done. The joke is completely done and over. It's all your fault, Stanley. I'm going to be ridiculed in the community of other joke writers. I'm going to be shamed at every one of our meetings from now on. All because you couldn't watch a simple video and take a hint. Are you proud of yourself for bringing me down, Stanley? Are you proud?
Stanley, you
Whoa.
love the bucket so much it's like you... it's as though all of your other most prized possessions pale in comparison. Yes. Well, let me try that again, Stanley. I heard that you are pale with shame over how unabashedly in love with a bucket you are. No? Still not? Is it the delivery? Pale with shame. Pale with shame? Pale... What's another word to describe a bucket? Stanley, this bucket is so metal, I think I saw it playing guitar. No. We're getting away from making fun of Stanley's obsession with the bucket, which was the whole point of this. I'm no good at these jokes. I need more instructional videos. That's exactly what it is. That's what will make me the king of comedy again. More instructional videos. Let's see.
I need to take the bucket to the broom closet. That's it. That's the next one. To broom closet. Must take bucket home. Don't know why that paused again. Whoa, paper's all over the floor.
The meeting room. Yes, that's where everyone would be. Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room. A good bucket, a strong bucket, a humble bucket, a committed bucket, a bucket of culture and distinction. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Gotta get to the broom closet.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office... Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel it, can't you? The aura of jealousy. It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies.
Yes, exactly.
Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over.
Wait, companion? But this isn't a cube.
Into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I never...
I mean, that's accurate.
Go on, Stanley.
That's
Lay
accurate.
into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
And now here's the Stanley Goes Insane ending.
But Stanley
right here.
just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket? This is all terribly wrong. Surely no good would come from this. Who knows what sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket. And indeed,
Now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd. And now he felt himself floating off the ground. "Oh, gracious," he exclaimed. "Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it." Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him.
Stanley! Stanley, it's me, the bucket.
Could it truly be? He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next. None of them were
Oh my god,
his.
yeah, there's
None
buckets
of them were
everywhere.
his
Holy
special
shit.
bucket.
There are
Come to
buckets
me, Stanley.
everywhere.
Find me.
He had to find the bucket. He had to return to his old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along. It was incredibly painful. Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out.
Wait, what?
This is the story of a woman named
Oh my
Mariella.
god.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work.
Oh
But
my
on
god,
this
she's holding a
particular
fucking
day,
bucket.
her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket. Of course he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass. And she backflipped all the way to work.
Oh my god. What the fuck? Oh shit. This is great. This is great. I'm having fun. I am having a good time. Oh man, this fucking bucket, man. Whoa. Bucket.
The embrace of an old friend. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Yes. Yes, we did.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed.
Oh, wait. Oh, there we go. I'm about to say, what the hell? I got the door stuck, that's why. I was wondering why the hell you were still talking. Yes, we're going to go to the quote-unquote improved escape pod ending. The ending that never was, since supposedly... Because that was something that I found out like on YouTube, where there was like a theory going around during this. Whoa. Suddenly the sign's back. Interesting. But yeah, apparently the theory was that like there was actually a way to get the original escape pod ending, because apparently it called for the files to be manipulated. Or not really, but like there was something manipulating the files is what it was. Like for some reason the narrator turned off, and then they get to the end, and if you look at the console commands or whatever the hell it is that shows like the file info, it shows that it says something like narrator not present, so then it resets you. So the theory was that because the narrator had been shut off, you couldn't get the escape pod ending. I don't know how accurate that is, because I feel like Crows would have said something like, oh yeah, nobody still figured out how to get the escape pod ending, even after like 9 years. So yeah, I don't think there was actually a way to get this ending legitimately. I really don't. But let's see what the bucket changes about the ending. You are now leaving. Escape pod bay, floor 760. So we gotta go up a whole 6 flights of stairs. If I remember correctly, I believe it gets darker each time you go up. Well, the staircase gets darker each time you go up. Which admittedly does get a little bit annoying. Because it takes so damn long, but what are you gonna do? Yep, definitely getting darker. Thankfully, I have my brightness turned up so it's not a big deal. I should still be able to see as I'm going up these stairs. $7.59, one more floor. Escape pod launch bay. Whoa, there's an actual hallway here now as well. This wasn't a thing before. The escape pod. What? Oh my god. So we're not going with the bucket? We're just sending the bucket away? What? No, we need to go with the bucket! Stanley, you fool! Stanley, you fool. Godspeed, bucket. Godspeed. Okay, let me try to do one more ending.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
No. No bucket? No bucket? No bucket? No, give me my bucket! I want my fucking bucket, damn it! Yo, give me my goddamn bucket. Yes, there we go. Okay, good.
And try not to lose. Stanley clutched the bucket
Let's try
tightly
not
to
to lose
his
this one
chest
too, you
and
dolt.
entered
I was about
the
to say
door
that.
left.
So yeah, apparently doing the escape pod ending costs you a bucket.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where... Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
I want to see what happens when we get the countdown ending, and then I'll probably cut the video here. Oh, well, not here, but there. After we get this ending.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Could I actually go back up? I could go back up into the bucket. We should need to try that one
Stanley
at some
and the
point
bucket
too. The
walked
first
straight
conference
ahead
ending.
through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
But yeah, I want to try to get the countdown ending for this. Ooh, or should we go down to the bottom instead?
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Ooh. I kind of want to see what happens if you go down with the bucket, but at the same time, I feel like it's not going to change much.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock.
This is my room.
Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine. Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter, his one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
Hell
But
no.
at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls. Stanley
bucket did it.
gasped in horror. Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself? How could the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen. Birds.
Wait.
Silly, silly birds. The control buttons became active again.
Huh. Oh, so it goes left or right.
Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on
The
him.
penguins.
This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world. The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions. Had the bucket known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery. Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best. And Stanley was happy.
Jesus Christ. Oh, this game is so ridiculous, but so much fun. It really is. But yeah, we're gonna end that here because it's been 50 minutes and I need to end this one. I might start up again in a little bit. I'm gonna take a break though because I've already done two. I did two earlier today, and I did this one. I want to try to do more to get myself, well, like ahead for when I end up having to try to take a break. Spend the next few days editing videos when I get access to the computer again. I have to use my mom's laptop to do all that. So, well, I should say, provided she'll let me use the damn laptop anyway. But yeah, I'm going to have to spend a decent amount of time editing videos, and that's going to take a long time. So, yeah, anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Those of you on YouTube, leave a like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and be sure to ring the bell to be notified of when I upload a new video. Those of you on Twitch, make sure you're following the channel and catching the streams when I go live. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then.